In the lecture on meditation, we talked about how you can think of meditation as mental training. We make a deliberate effort to focus our attention to a particular object or thought. And to practice meditation, we assume a position or posture that allows us to quiet what's going on around us so that we can tune into our minds and bodies. I mentioned how there are different types of meditation and how mindfulness is one type of meditation. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment on purpose and without judgment. I use Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn's definition of mindfulness because his program, called Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, is the leading program in the world that the science of mindfulness is based upon. So this definition, paying attention to the present moment on purpose and without judgment, means we're tuning in to what's happening right now. We practice letting go of worries about the future or replaying the past, and instead focus on what's happening right in front of us or within us, right in that moment. And this phrase, without judgment, can be tricky to understand at first. This doesn't mean that you can't have likes or dislikes, because that really isn't possible. Rather, it's about not judging yourself for liking or disliking. It means noticing what arises within you without being judgmental of yourself. And by doing this, we're giving ourselves space. We're space between what we experience and how we respond to that experience. This space is where we have the power to choose a different way of responding than we typically would. We can get out of our negative habitual patterns of thinking and behaving by bringing mindfulness into our lives. Now, I want to talk about how you can think of mindfulness in two ways. One, you can think of it as a formal meditation practice where you're intentionally practicing sustaining focused attention. Remember, you can do this in your yoga practice. One of the simplest ways of doing this is by repeatedly bringing your attention back to your breath. The second way of thinking about mindfulness is by viewing it as an informal way of being. By thinking of mindfulness in this way, we can bring mindfulness to every moment of our lives, not just on our mat or not just on our cushion. Take this quote by Jon Kabat-Zinn. He says, "Our lives unfold only in moments. If we're not fully present for many of those moments, we may not only miss what is most valuable in our lives, but also fail to realize the richness and the depth of our possibilities for growth and transformation." So you can bring mindfulness off your mat or off your cushion and into your life. It doesn't have to be reserved for formal meditation. You can practice it all the time. Modern science is recognizing the power of practicing mindfulness. Studies have shown that those who practice mindfulness have less anxiety and depression, lower stress, better attention skills, a stronger ability to self-regulate, and even have richer and more positive relationships with other people. So not only does bringing mindfulness into our lives increase our mental health, it can strengthen our social connections. And to reiterate this point, I want to end the lecture with an excerpt from my interview with psychologist Rick Hansen.
The fundamental process of helping yourself change for the better boils down to have it, enjoy it. And especially the enjoy it phase. Experience whatever you want to develop, cultivate, and grow and protect, and then enjoy it. Most of it's private, most of it's quick. It's like the law of little things. Lots of little drops fill up the cup as you go through your day. And that's a wonderful thing to know, that it's usually little and quick, and you can do it in the flow. That's really good to know. But to do it, to have that experience in the first place, and then especially to enjoy it, a person needs to be mindful. They need to be able to sustain present moment awareness. That's the traditional definition of mindfulness, and kind of old school. I use that myself as a meditation teacher and a meditator. Sustained present moment awareness that can be applied to anything out in the world, inside oneself. It's easy to be have present moment awareness for a breath or two or three, but to do it for 10 breaths in a row or 10 minutes in a row, as you know, that's a bit of a challenge. So that's critically important because attention is like a vacuum cleaner. Yes, neurons that fire together wire together throughout the nervous system, but they do it particularly for what we're experiencing, and especially particularly for what is in the field of focused attention. We are designed to learn from what we attend to. We are designed to be to be changed by what we attend to. The problem is that vacuum cleaner, which sucks its contents into your nervous system continuously, for better or worse, most people don't have very good control of that vacuum cleaner. So doing mindfulness training in various ways to get control over that vacuum cleaner of attention is absolutely at the front end of helping yourself become who you want to be. There's a kind of an old line, you become what you eat. In some sense, that's true for the body, but for you, the being you are, the person you are, developing over time, you become what you pay attention to. It's profoundly and deeply important. I think that's one reason why William James, the godfather of psychology in America, said the education of attention would be the education par excellence.